Hello students, welcome to my class. In my last lecture, I was discussing about the CBSE pattern question. That is, I have discussed around 6 questions. Today, I will continue and will provide few more questions related to your chapter. So friends, let's start the battle. That is, I have discussed question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, question number 4, question number 5 and question number 6. One more thing, in question number 6 I am going to discuss that I remember the sequence was like this: 2, then there comes 4, the order is, wait for a moment, wait friend, the order was like this, that is 2, then there comes 4, then there comes that is 3, and the order was then there comes 1, because this one is 4D and this one is 4P. But one more thing I am going to mention here, if I just talk about 3D and 3D, I am not considering the number of electron, then you can also say 2 may be equal to 4 energies and then 3 and then 1. This is also true. Clear to you? 2, 4, that is 3D, 3D in this case. And if I consider a number of electrons also, then slight less. So this one is also true, this one is also true. Clear to you? Now I am going to rub this part and we'll discuss the next one. Wait for a moment, let's move to the next section. What is given here? Check it out. Look at, this is a 4 marks question. That means to say you require complete explanation. First of all, read the question carefully. If the position of electron is measured within an accuracy of plus minus 0.002 nanometer, calculate the uncertainty in the momentum of the electron. Suppose the momentum of electron is h upon 4 pi into 0.05 nanometer. Is there any problem in defining this value? First of all, what do we need to find? Calculate the uncertainty in the momentum of the electron. Now, what is given here? Put here solution. Listen carefully. If the position of the electron is measured with an accuracy, that is, it is given delta x is equal to plus minus 0.002 nanometer. That is the range. Plus 0.002, between minus 0.002 to plus 0.002 nanometer. Convert it into meter. It can be written like this: 0.002 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Clear? And we need to find, that is, uncertainty in momentum, that is delta P. Am I right? Yes, sir. Now what to do? Listen carefully. As we know that delta S into delta P is greater and equal to h upon 4 pi. Clear to you? Put here h upon 4 pi. Yes, sir. Or for solving, we can take here delta x into delta P is equal to h upon 4 pi. Am I right? Yes, sir. Now, put the value of delta x, that is, delta P is equal to h upon 4 pi into delta P, into delta x, because we need to find the delta P value. Put here delta x. Okay. Now, what is the value of h? That is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. Now, upon 4 into 3.14, and what is delta x? That is, delta x is equal to 0.002 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. After solving, what we get? We get the value of delta P, uncertainty in momentum. That is the first part of the question. Now moving here. What is the next part? That is, it is given the actual momentum, that is given the delta P is h upon 4 pi into 0. you can better to write like this. Actual momentum given here. That is actual momentum. Clear to you? Actual momentum is given here equal to h upon 4 pi into 0.05 nanometer. That is, we can write here 0.05 multiplied 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Now what will happen? Put the value 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 into upon 4 into 3.14 into 0.05 into 10 to the power minus 9. This is the actual momentum, and this is the given what we find. That is, now compare this one. What do we observe? That is, the value differs. What I am telling, the value differs. And if the value differs, is there any problem in defining the value? Definitely. If the value differs, we can say definitely there is a problem in defining this value. Clear to you? Now check out what we have done. That is given here delta x, that is 0.002 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. We need to find delta p. As we know, delta x into delta p is greater than equal to h upon 4 pi. Delta x into delta p is equal to h upon 4 pi, and delta p is equal to h upon 4 pi into delta x. Put the value, we get delta p, and this is the first part. In second part, there is given actual momentum h upon 4 pi into 0.05 nanometer. Put here, multiply 10 to the power minus 9. What we solve? After solving, we observe here, look at numerator same but denominator different. If denominator different, that is the value differ. So there is a problem in defining this value. So I think now you can easily solve such kind of question. These are one of the best questions. Now I'm going to rub this part and we'll discuss the next question, friend. Wait for a moment. Now let's move to the next section, that is question number 8. This is a 5 marks question. You need again the detailed solution for this. I'm always here to serve you. Check out what I'm telling and always follow my lecture for the theory boost up. If you have a strong theory, then definitely you can solve such kind of question. So read the question carefully. What is given here? That is, what transition in the hydrogen spectrum? What transition in the hydrogen spectrum would have the same wavelength as the Balmer transition? That is, n is equal to 4 to n is equal to 2 for helium plus spectrum. That means to say, it is given here, that is for helium plus ion, in this case, that is n1 is equal to 2, that is the Balmer series, and 2 is equal to 4. And in this case, what we get, the value of wavelength will be exactly equal to the wavelength of hydrogen atom transition. And the question is which transition? That is, we need to find n1 and n2. Clear? First of all, according to the question put here, for helium plus ion, we have to find 1 upon lambda wavelength. 1 upon lambda is equal to, we people know, RZ square into 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square. Am I right? Yes, sir. Now put here 1 upon lambda is equal to R. What is the value of Z? That 2 square, because the atomic number of helium is 2. Now 1 upon n1 square. What is n1? That is 2 square. And what is n2? That is 4 square. Clear to you? Now 1 upon lambda is equal to R into 4. Now 2 to the 4 minus 16. Am I right? Yes, sir. Now moving here, check it out. what will happen in this case? That is 1 upon lambda is equal to 4r, then LCM 4 into 16 is 16, that is 4 minus 1 upon 16. Am I right? Yes, sir. That is 1 upon lambda is equal to 4r into 3 upon 16. 4 4s are 16. That is 1 upon lambda is equal to 3r by 4. This is the lambda value, or you can say lambda is equal to 4 by 3r. This is the value of lambda, and this lambda is exactly equal to which transition of hydrogen atom? That is the question. Now I am moving here, check it out. This is the lambda. I am moving slowly. Now, is it visible? Now, this lambda has exactly to the transition of hydrogen. That is, for hydrogen atom, let the transition is N1 is equal to X or N2 is equal to Y, and we need to find the value of X and Y. Put here 1 upon lambda is equal to RZ square 1 upon N1 square minus 1 upon N2 square. Am I right? Yes. Now here 1 upon lambda equal lambda. Lambda is equal to, according to the first conclusion, what we get? 3r by 4 is equal to r. What is the atomic number of hydrogen? Is 1. That is 1 upon N1 square minus 1 upon N2 square. Clear to you? That is X and Y. This R will cancel this one. We get 3 by 4 is equal to 1 upon X square minus 1 upon Y square. Am I right? Now moving here, check it out. Look at 3 by 4 is equal to what I am telling here, 1 upon X square minus 1 upon Y square. Clear? Now hit and trial method. Put the value of X is equal to 1 and value of Y is equal to 2. Then what will happen? Check it out. 1 upon 1 square minus 1 upon 2 square. That is 1 minus 1 by 4. LCM 4 minus 1 by 4, that is 3 by 4. Is equal to 3 by 4. Then definitely that is X is equal to 1 and Y is equal to 2. Now moving here, check it out. What I am telling, listen carefully. That is, we can say that is X is equal to 1 and Y is equal to 2. Clear to you? That is the transition N1 is equal to 2 and N2 is equal to 2. If the hydrogen atom has transition N1 to N2, it will have same wavelength as the Balmer-Sirtis transition for helium plus ion. This is the complete answer and this is the complete solution of this question. Am I right? Yes. What I am telling, always boost your concept. If you boost your concept, then you can easily solve such kind of questions. Now give me a few seconds so that I clean this green board. Okay. Now let's move to the next question, question number 9. Now read the question. The work function of caesium is 1.9 electron volt. Okay. Calculate the threshold wavelength. First part, I have to solve the first part. First of all, one by one. Solution, that is the A part. What is given here? Work function. That is, it is given W naught. W naught we people know, that is H mu naught. Yes, sir. Now W naught is given 1.9 electron volt. 1.9 EV is equal to, we can write 1.9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. Yes sir, definitely, because 1 electron volt equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So put this value here, that is 1.9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 is equal to H, 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 into mu naught. Am I right? Now how to find the mu naught? Mu naught is equal to, that is H upon W naught, that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 divided by 1.9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. This is the answer. This is the value of threshold frequency. Am I right? Yes sir. Now moving here, check it out what I am telling. That is, as we know, again, as we know, that is lambda is equal to C upon mu. That is the relation. C is the velocity of light and mu is the frequency. So in this case, what will happen? Lambda naught is equal to C upon mu naught. Lambda naught is threshold wavelength. Put here THRESH, threshold wavelength, threshold wavelength. Clear to you? Now what is C? The value of C is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And what is mu naught? The mu naught is, what is the value? Put 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 divided by 1.9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. Clear to you? This is the formula. This is the threshold wavelength. This is the threshold frequency. I am moving here, check it out. Threshold frequency and threshold wavelength. We have solved the two part. Now moving here, is it visible, friend? Some signing place is there, na? No? Okay. Clear to you? Let's move. Now, look at, if the caesium element is irradiated with a wavelength of 500 nanometer. Now here the second part of the question. Here is wavelength is 500 nanometer. Clear to you? So E will be equal to Hc upon lambda, definitely, and H is equal to 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 into 3 into 10 to the power 8 upon lambda is equal to 500 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter, because 1 nanometer is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Am I right? This is the value of E. And what is the work function here given? 1.9 EV. Put here 1.9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. Clear to you? Now what we know, kinetic energy is equal to, we people know, E minus W naught. Do you remember this? This is Einstein photoelectric equation. Put the value, you will get the kinetic energy. Am I right? Yes sir, you are absolutely right. Now you have to solve this question. These are the simple things you can calculate in your home also. So it's not so much tough. That is the approach. We need to approach the question. That is, put here, kinetic energy is equal to, what is E? That is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 into 3 into 10 to the power 8 upon 500 into 10 to the power minus 9 minus, that is the W naught. What is the value of W naught? Wait for a moment, friend. That is, the value of W naught is minus, put here minus sign, that is 1.9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. If you solve, you will get the value of kinetic energy. Clear? Now, the next part, calculate the kinetic energy and the velocity. As we know, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Put there, half mv square is equal to 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 into 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 500 into 10 to the power minus 9. Am I right? Yes, sir. That is minus 1.9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. Now, what is V? Put multiply. That is V square, mv square is equal to 2 multiply this value, that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 into 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 500 into 10 to the power minus 9 minus 1.9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. Clear to you? Now, what is V? This m will come here. I am moving here, friend. Check it out. That is, finally, V square is equal to 2 upon m. What is m? M is nothing. That is the mass of electron. Clear to you? And what is the mass of electron? That is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Now put this value, you will get the answer. Clear to you? So V square, put here mass of electron, you will get the value. After solving, you will get the value of velocity. So this question is one of the best question because it contains one part, two part, then the third part, four question, and overall it carry 5 marks. Clear to you? This is the question from your NCERT. As we all know, sometimes we ignore NCERT books, but friend, what I am telling, NCERT chapter and exercise are very much useful. It contains valuable questions. If you solve this question, then definitely it will boost your knowledge and will help you in competitive examination also. So always solve the chapter and exercise of NCERT book. Now let's move to the last segment, that is the last question. Now what is the question? First part, calculate the number of electrons present in 1 mole of methane. This question touches the chapter 1 also, and it will help you to revise the chapter 1 also. This is also a question of your NCERT book, that is the NCERT chapter and exercise. Now what is the first part? Listen carefully. Calculate the total number of electrons present in 1 mole of methane. 1 CH4 contain how many electron? 6 plus 4 into 1, that is 10 electron. That is 1 CH4 molecule contain 10 electron. 1 mole CH4, as we know, 1 mole CH4 contain 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 CH4 molecules. Clear to you? So if 1 CH4 molecules contain 10 electron, then 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 CH4 molecules will contain. That is the question. Therefore 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of CH4 will contain 10 multiply 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 is equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 electrons. Am I right? This is the answer. 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 electron. This is the first part of the question. Now let's move to the second part. What is the second part? find the total number and total mass of electron in 7 milligram of C14. Total number, okay. And first of all, we have to find out total mass of neutrons, okay. As we know, 14 gram C14, that is the molar mass, contains how many neutron? What is the here the mass number 14, and we know atomic number is 6. Clear to you? That is the number of neutron is 14 minus 6 is equal to 8. We people know, and 14 gram is equal to 1 mole. 14 gram C14 contains 8 into Na, that is Avogadro number. Because 14 gram is equal to 1 mole, we have multiplied with Avogadro number. And 8 why? Because 8 C14 contains 8 electron. 1 C14 contain 8 neutron. Here talking about the neutron. So 14 gram, that is the 1 mole, contain 8 into Na. Clear to you? Now question is 7 milligram, that is 7 into 10 to the power 3 gram C14 will contain, listen carefully, 7 into 10 to the power 3 multiply 8 multiply Avogadro number, that is Na, 6 point, put the value 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 14, that is 2248. Clear? That is almost what we get here, that is 428 24088 into 10 to the power 20 neutrons. Here neutrons 10 to the power 20. 24.088 into 10 to the power 20 neutrons. This is the answer. Clear? Now this is the first part. What is the second part? Look at here. Now you have to mass. Find the mass of that neutrons. It is very simple. We know what is the mass of neutron given here. Mass of one neutron is equal to 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Am I right? And how many electrons we have? That is, now mass of 24.088 into 10 to the power 20 neutrons is mass will be equal to 24.088 into 10 to the power 20 multiply 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Big question, I know, but I'm always here to serve you because I like numericals. And definitely you will love numericals also because numerical boost our theory. Clear to your friend? So take a breath. What is my slogan? Tell me. Today I forgot. That is, be healthy, keep smiling. Okay, where is our smiley? Look at, this is our smiley. Let me draw its eyes and nose and one mouth, and this one is ear, and this one is his hair. Is little worried, slightly tense. Okay, so friend, always keep smiling. Now what is the third part of the question? Read the question. Find the total number and the total mass of protons here in 34 milligram of NH3. Okay, wait for a moment. Now check it out. That is the third part. 34 gram NH3. Okay. One NH3 molecules contain how many proton? Nitrogen has atomic number 7 proton. That is 7 plus 3. That is 10 protons. Yes, definitely. One NH3. So 1 mole NH3 contains 10 into Avogadro number? Definitely. What is the mass of 1 mole of ammonia? That is 14 plus 3, 17. 17 gram NH3 contains 10 into Na. So what is given here? 34 mg. 34 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram NH3 will contain 34 into 10 to the power minus 3. Clear to you? Multiply by 10, multiply by Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 17. 17 to the 34. Clear to you? That is minus 2, 12.044 into 10 to the power 20 and 21. 10 to the power 21. Am I right? 12.044 into 10 to the power 21 protons. Am I right? Clear to you? Now, this is the first part. You have to mass also, right? Find out the mass. As we know, mass of one proton is equal to, given here, 1.672 into 6726 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Clear to you? So, mass of 12.044 into 10 to the power 21 protons will be equal to, tell me, that is 12.044 into, take a breath friend, big question, 12.044 into 10 to the power 21 multiply 1.6726 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. This is the answer. This is the complete solution of this question. I think now you are very much familiar to solve such kind of question. It will help you a lot, that my promise to you. So friend, check out the things once again. 12.044, yeah, calculation is almost, if there is any mistake, you are always here. This is a calculation, the theory remains same. Okay, 12.044 into 10 to the power 21. Let me check 10 to the power minus 121, and 12.044 by 21 multiply 1.6726 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. That is the mass. Here is given. We have to the total mass of protons in, assume the mass of proton. Okay, will the answer change if the temperature and pressure change? Definitely not, because this is mass. Mass does not depend upon temperature and pressure. Law of conservation of mass. Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Am I right? Yes, sir, you are absolutely right. So, friend, time is calling. Time to say bye-bye. Be happy. Keep smiling. Again, I am repeating one more thing. Be healthy also. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.